Hi everyone, Scofield Thomas, 800 Tech Limited. After our last live session, we've had a question posed to us: what is the proof of concept? So today, we want to help you to understand when we say proof of concept, what we actually mean. In short, the proof of concept is us demonstrating that we can actually digitize your processes. If we go a little further, we would then explain the steps involved in before we do a proof of concept and what a proof of concept entails. So a proof of concept is where is the stage right after we do consultation with our clients. It's like right, after we understand your processes, where we see your forms, when we look at your entire manual process, we have interviews with different staff members, and we get an understanding and appreciation for your process flow. Once we get that appreciation, we then take that manual process and we convert it into a digital process. So the proof of concept is really where we show you that we understand your manual process clearly, and this is the digital equivalent to it. So that's what the proof of concept is. The proof of concept, we don't really integrate with other applications at that stage, because it's what we call the phase where things can change, and it's very dynamic, in terms of nature, where we have a lot of conversations back and forth with the customers, and we solicit feedback at that point in time to ensure that we're on the right path. So the video coming up next is going to show you a proof of concept demonstration we did with a client in the financial industry, and it would help you to get an appreciation for what is a proof of concept and what it actually looks like. So let's take it from where we did our introductions already, and we're actually going to start to show the customer proof of concept for an application process for a financial institution.
The process starts with those simple information, and in the first step, all you have to do is just enter the customer number, which sends his order to purchase Forex. And if it's a new customer, it can be a new customer. You just type 0, or if you know the customer number, we assume we have some sort of CRM or some sort of database table in the background where you hold the customer information, and then you type basically the customer ID and then proceed to the next step. And then if it's a new customer, then you have to define the new customer. And then if it's an existing customer, then from the CRM system, you retrieve the information like the name of the business, or address, or telephone, fax number, and emails. And here you have to basically enter the supplier name, where you get the invoices from. And this is basically one of the appendixes on your Word document, right? I don't know if you still, I don't know if you have it in front of you, open the document, but that's from that, basically the appendix. So we basically enter the numbers, some sort of, and then you can also add any kind of product or services. Let's say this is a service. We can also include a list of products and services here in the background, and then we can create a drop down or a list of products and services where you can select from. And then that's basically one of the fields on that form. And then proceed to the next step.
Sorry, Nicola, you could ask questions as we go along if you don't understand something. Huh?
Sure. This part is pretty clear. I just want to demonstrate what we can do. The process I saw on the document has basically two main parts. you can collect all this data. Customers from anywhere. So whatever you do on the Excel sheet can be done here. And the advantage of having this information here is that you have full control what's going on here on that process, where it has been and who's working on that, who did other stuff, who entered any kind of information. And you have the full overview over the whole process. Like, you started here, who has done the, I'm the admin, by the way. All the tasks are being completed by the admin, by me, by the way. And all the information, all the process data entered here, you can review. And even for audit purposes, if there's money, there's always some risk of fraud. If there's an audit or investigation, you have all the data in your hands.
Okay, so we just saw Tolga explaining or going through the first part of the application process, how you onboard an applicant. And it showcased where we collect information from the applicant and how we process it internally. The next video is going to go into a little more details where Tolga is going to show how we collect documentation from an applicant, how we also go through the approval process internally, how we can actually look at your files, look at where your process is internally. And also we're going to see a little bit of the back end of eFlow. We're going to see the designer and how we actually design the processes, and also how we send out email notifications and how simple it is, and some of the other processes and other tools within the designer. So let's take in Tolga as he continues the application process.
And you can assign all these steps to different roles or users, of course. And here are the names of the authorities of the organization. And you can also attach their signatures in any kind of document format here. So you have everything in one single environment. And you can add as much as you want. And then the shareholders, like you have it on the document. I'm not filling out all the information I want to go through. And now this is basically the step where you have to review as the manager or who's the decision maker. And then you have to type your notes if you have to, or you can reject the application, but then you have to select the reason why you are rejecting. These are the reasons I basically typed here in the combo box. You can define, of course, as much as you want. And let's say we approve and proceed with the application. And this is then the final approval step. And enter the information which is necessary for the next step and proceed. So now then it goes to document collection, and you have to attach any kind of document you get from the customer. I've been working in a bank too for almost 10 years, and I've been working with processes, so I'm pretty familiar with those kind of actions. So these are the document types you can get from the customer. These were all listed in the document Scofield forwarded to me. And you can attach the document here, any PDFs or any image files, and you can also type your remarks. Important. And
so Tolga, let me ask you a question. So how would the customer, if we want specific documents from the customer, how would they know? Is it that they receive an email?
Of course. I skipped that part because let me show you how the process looks like on the designer part.
Sure.
This is the first part of the process. And to be honest, I did not include any kind of notification here because I need a proper
Email
email
account.
setup,
Yeah,
yeah, email account and
that's
the
fine.
server. But you can basically here include an email notification, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and send a document or fixed text like
Mm-hmm.
you included in the Word document. Here,
Mm-hmm.
type here, attach something, and just basically send
Yeah.
automatically send to the customer.
Okay.
So the notifications are not here, but we can include them anytime we want.
Okay.
So after we collect the documents, somebody needs to review the document and we proceed to the next step, and someone types the reviews about the documents, and then if there's a need to get a new version or some documents with a recent date, then you return to the previous step where you have to communicate with the customer again and then get a new document, or if everything is okay, then you can proceed to final approval, which is done basically here. We are right here. We've been through the process and came to the last step of the first part here. And then basically you can review all the information you gathered through the first steps of the process. You can review them and then make a final decision as the manager of the department, the CEO or whatever. And of course, you can reject the application as well with the same reasons. Let's say we approve.
Okay, guys, so we're at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that proof of concept that we showed you. And I hope it answered a lot of your questions as to what is a proof of concept and what does it entail. So when you hear us next time in a live or in our next webinar, when you hear us use the term proof of concept, you would understand what we're referring to. It is us showing you and demonstrating to you that it is possible digitally, your process that you have manually right now. So schedule your own proof of concept session with us at info@800-tech.com, or call us at 223-8324 or 686-0758. Contact us. We would also schedule a proof of concept for you. There'd be a consultancy phase first, and then we would then offer you a proof of concept. Again, guys, it's no obligation, so there's no reason not to explore digitizing your business the easy way. Thank you, guys.